This is Oktane. Minutes Podcast episode 20, featuring production by Placebo. This is Hollow Ground. Well, so let me get into the story about Hollow Ground. As you know, if you don't know, if you're new to this channel, if you're not already like, sharing, and subscribing, no one is, but I wish you would when you're talking about it. I am a professional wrestler. I have done so for almost 20 years. Trained by the likes of a couple of people. Their names are not important at this time, but shout out to Cyrus LeVay, who actually does share my music. I am one of the sons of Cyrus, S-O-V, sons of S-V, sons of Cyrus. Shout out to Cyrus LeVay, my brother Casey, big bro Casey. Among some other people. Bruiserweight Maze, shout out to him. I know people hate him, but you know, it's whatever. But that's my history. I don't hide from it. Trained at the Ultimate Wrestling facility. Broke into a company called Ultimate Wrestling with a promoter named Dion L. Hargel. So I don't know if it's Dion Leon Hargel and his wife Cindy. I say back in 2006, started, intended to be a wrestler always. They utilized me as a ref until they can get a storyline going. They were trying to be slick and keep me as a ref, but you know, I don't blame them. You know, refs are hard to come by, but I did eventually get away from being a ref. And I know that if they had plans of keeping me as a ref, I probably wasn't gonna stay with that company. I probably was gonna break out and go work somewhere else. I would have had to figure it out on my own, but fortunately for me, they were gracious enough to go ahead and let me do what I intended to do in this. And I think it worked out for the best. Most people get, and every now and then, very rare, I do ref some stuff, but it's definitely not a thing I'm really into. No disrespect to anybody who does ref. I'm just myself not into reffing. It's very difficult. I find the wrestling a lot easier. Anyway, the song Hollow Ground, working for a promoter named JT Angel in Niceville, Florida, for Impact Pro Wrestling. It's been a company that's been around for at least 10 years on and off, probably longer than 10 years. But a lot of the promoter knows that I do this hip hop shit. I do music, and he brought up the suggestion. He's like, "How come I would like to see you come to the ring with your own theme music?" So I made this song. It doesn't have any cursing in it, and it could be a single. Produced by Placebo. The best way to explain the beat, it's like a marching, like menacing, almost like the Imperial March, but it's not the Imperial March, but that's the best way to describe it. You'll probably hear it here in the background playing as I have these things going, but it's Imperial March like. So, if you're a fan of Star Wars, you will kind of understand that it has a menacing marching feel, stepping forward, stomping through the city, and I thought it would fit well in an arena setting. So I, like I said, I don't know if I said it because I just had to do an edit, and I'm doing it now currently as we're talking. Not Meta the company, but I'm just breaking the fourth wall a little bit. But it has very it's very hard. It's a hard banger. It's a banger song, you know what I'm saying? Loud and banger, and I think it was a beat that I saw, and I thought it perfectly fit with an arena setting, that I can take a team, or even like a football team. If I had like a semi-pro football team, I could use it for the theme. I've had custom themes before. There was a guy called Rollo the Don from my local town, Pensacola, which I claim. that did a tag team song for the Onyx, which I thought was cool. It was a cool ass song, man. And he really laced it. He did a couple of themes for other people. That was produced by DJ Quake, who was helping us out and helping us put together some multimedia stuff for our wrestling. When we were with when I was out there running the roads with T.A. Jones and the Polynesian Prince, when we were working as the Onyx stable, or a variation of it. We kind of like do like a 4 horseman thing. At given times, there's always different members, but there's always got to be Ric Flair and Arn Anderson. And the reason why there hasn't been an Onyx here is just that TA, he lives in Tennessee now. Hopefully, when him and his fiance get married officially, I mean, I know they'll probably stay in Tennessee, but you never know. They might want to say, "Oh, let's live in Florida, and we can get one more run up out of there." TA is a couple of years older than me, so I don't, so. Whenever he's feeling it, I'm going to be feeling it pretty soon because, just whatever. Old age. We're old guys. We've wrestled for a very long time. I don't know if TA's had some matches lately, but I really hope he does because you promoters in Tennessee, you guys are missing out on T.A. Jones. If you're not reaching out, you're missing out. Shout out to Darius Kane. Same thing. If you are a wrestling promoter in the Southwest of the United States, Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico, if you are not trying to reach out to Darius Kane, and Darius Kane, get your ass back in the ring, please. You're too talented to be sitting at home. I know you're probably enjoying family life, and family is a beautiful thing, and it's very important. But you are too talented to let that hourglass just run out and not do nothing with it. So, I mean, find an indie, man. Find an indie. Get back in the ring. You never know how, wanted and needed you are in this business. I mean, you got to show them. You got to spread this continental Southeast style. You got to spread the continental style. You know what I'm saying? We have an important lineage. Don't just shut our shit out, man. I mean, our lineage is very important. You know what I'm saying? We come from the Wild Samoans. We come from the rock and roll. We come from Robert Gibson. We come from the Armstrongs. We come from Roy Lee Welch. We come from Don Fargo. We come from who else? We come from hippie boy Mike Boyette. We have a very, very rich wrestling history. And I know a lot of people want to bring me to podcast, and I am more than welcome. You guys are more than welcome to jump on here, but I am more than happy to espouse our wrestling history. I definitely would like you guys to, anybody who wants to do podcasts, especially a lot of hip hop guys that know that I rap. I know that there's a lot of guys who do wrestling podcasts and know that I'm in the business, and I haven't done wrestling podcasts in a while. I haven't done any interviews in a while, but I've done probably more wrestling interviews than I did rap, and I've done a few rap, but a lot of wrestling podcasts. I don't know, maybe I'll reach out to Jake Capone because I know he had a podcast for a while, and I'll go do something with him. But yeah, I definitely I love wrestling. I love the business. Even if I'm not seen in the business as often as I would like these days, I still very much love the wrestling business. It is my first love. It is my heart. And at some points, it was my everything for my life. I have no complaints. There's good times. There were tons of great times. I wouldn't even say good times. They were great times. They were perfect times. And there were a lot of bad times too. But I appreciate the bad because if I didn't have the bad to have, then I would not have these great triumphs in wrestling to be had. Talked to another friend of mine who's wrestled for a long time, and the one thing I told him was that I can't get mad about not going to the higher levels of this business. Because a lot of it is bad timing. Wrestling business don't owe me shit, but a lot of it is bad timing. The only thing I was entitled to as far as living my dream was having that first match. Everything else was just complimentary, and everything else was a privilege. A privilege and a pleasure. And all the people that I've met that I probably would have never had a chance to be friends with if it wasn't for the business. I've made a lot of friendships with people that I would have just in the regular rap world wouldn't have even wanted to deal with. But wrestling kind of opened my eyes up to a lot of people that I, otherwise wouldn't have known. There's some people that I wish I've never met, but there are a lot of people that I'm glad that I have friendships with, and people I consider damn near family. I consider like brothers. And I have wrestling to thank for that. I have wrestling to thank for a lot of things in my life. My relationships in life, I have, so all my positive things, for the most part, I have wrestling to thank for that. I got in shape, got fat again. That's okay. I'll get in shape again because of wrestling, because I know I'm coming back. And that's a beautiful thing. I know this is a hip hop podcast, but I just kind of talk about moments in my life too. One of my best, what is it? Some of the coolest moments, man, is just sitting in the car for hours at a time with people that you otherwise wouldn't have never met, driving through multiple states, just talking about the business. That's a great moment. Just talking about spots that you can do, and talking about gimmicks, and talking about things you saw on TV, and critically analyzing things about who was really the true GOAT, who was really drawing money, that type of stuff. And then you come up with your plans for the future sitting in those cars. You learn a lot in the schools. You learn how to do, but in that car ride and in front of those people, you learn how to be. In the ring, you do it real time. But in the car, you learn what I could have done better. You learn how to sharpen up. When you're sitting there, paying your dues, driving those long miles, sometimes for little pay, sometimes for bad pay, and you are enjoying every bit of your life. Even though this is a hip-hop podcast, this is the wrestling episode, hollow ground. And even then, in a ring, in a locker room, is hollow ground. I hear a lot of people, especially a lot of these little puss-ass rappers, that will talk down on this business. You are sadly mistaken. That this business, the reason why you talk down on this business, especially guys like HDX and pussy ass Ricky Ruda, aka Crack Rock Ricky. The reason why you talk bad on this business is because guys like you could never be in this business. You could have never existed. You wouldn't have lasted the first day. I guarantee you. I bet money on it. If I was a gambling man, and I can be a gambling man, I just know you motherfuckers wouldn't have lasted. I know you're hiding and lurking in the world, but, it's whatever. That's what it is. That's what it is, bro. It's all jealousy. I got a lot of bros. I got a lot of family in that business. So, sitting there calling me a backyarder, which is not true. I did my shit very professional. I did my stuff very professional. I knew legends. I know legends. I get invited when they had the reunion. I was invited every year. Every year. I'm well respected. I don't know about you in your life. You know what I'm saying? How many tickets did you sell for people to watch you lay on the couch, Rick? Huh? Ogoon? What, stand on the corner? How many people shelled out money for that? None. And you, HDX, how many people paid money? How many people paid money to watch you deliver packages, dildos from Amazon? Okay, all right, I'll wait. Listen, you can make your jokes, but guess what? You ain't nowhere to be found. You shut your comments off. My comments are open. But I say that in defense of the wrestling business. I say that, and I'm also a practitioner of martial arts. So it's not even like I'm threatening you. You know, I'm not. I don't care to threaten you over the internet. You're a dickhead. But what you ain't gonna do is disrespect my business, disrespect my family's business. My family, not my mother, father, and my cousins, my brothers, and all that. But my family, meaning my brothers that have spilled blood, shed blood, tears, sweat, equity in that ring, on that road. You ain't gonna disrespect them. You ain't gonna disrespect them. You know what I'm saying? So when I see your little slick ass comment, especially you, Rick, you 145 pounds, G. You are a crackhead. That I said it. You can never be in hollow ground. They wouldn't have allowed you. You know, and we got carnies in our business, but there's also the code. We have a code amongst us. You ain't got no code. And you was supposed to be the god. But you was diluting and tampering. You know, I guess that's what it's like when the monkey's still silver, right? But enough of the negativity. But like I said, don't disrespect my business. Don't disrespect my family. Because that's the problem. That's a problem. First, let me do a shout out to the Sabasun family. I'm gonna go right through it. Hold on, man. We gonna make it happen. I'm calling up the names because I don't want to miss not a person. Not a person. Shout out to Showtime Dollars, another brother in this wrestling shit. Shout out to the War God A Preem. Shout out to Born Fifth Child, aka Son's Burden. Shout out to Atreyu 850, a in from the area, from the code 850. Shout out to Grizzly Savage from the area code. Shout out to Corey Chavis, a legend in this sport, a legend World Tag Team Championship caliber competitor. And yeah, like I said, you ain't gonna disrespect that man. Not on my watch, G. Not on my watch. You ain't gonna disrespect our business. But shout out to my brother there. Shout out to my brother MC Gravity, aka Prana Self. Shout out to Tommy Jr., as we affectionately call him, aka the new 93. Shout out to Tony the Goon. Shout out to Guillotine out Fresno, California. And if I didn't say Abno, I will close it again with Abno. Shout out to Abno. Sabasun's gonna expand. Let's get into the lyrical breakdown. All that aiming in you're missing, so keep wishing the plot thickens. From the school of hard knocks, took stones to block to make the house of torture. Doused the flames, the one to make your name hot, turn you infamous, disrespect the ink block. Out the gate, I'm letting you know how vicious I am, man. And I'm saying that if you think in your pea-brain head, pea-brain mind, if you, that you could get on my level or deal with me or eliminate me from anything, you out your mind. You need to be looking at a Rorschach test. You need to be looking at an ink block test in a rubber room, bouncing around with a straight jacket on, because you're crazy. You are crazy, right? You need a Rorschach thinking you gon' get away. Criminal minds at play. How you say diabolical. The heat from seven heads. Play with the syndicate. Moves get intricate. No need to say more. Pop off like a claymore. Everything means war. God will show up at your front door. Alter reality. Turn up the gravity. The situation heavy. Choose violence. Always wildin' on the regular. The villain wins. Does he live the deal again? Sit in the cage with the soul simmering. So keep the hearts cold like December then. Yeah. And I just go on more about just getting busy on that mic, man. I mean, and get busy in the ring, you know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you how badass I am. You know, even though my company will play my old theme song, this is the main theme song. When I go somewhere else, this will be the song that you guys will hear, because this one's way doper. And also, I want to sell CDs at the show. So I always have CDs on deck if you want, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, so this goes into the hook, and the hook explains a lot of things, and then we can go into the second verse. When I lock it down, you cannot get away. When I knock it down, you cannot stay awake. Nothing bounds with lost or found. When I'm on the scene, it's hollow ground, hollow ground. When I lock it down, you cannot get away. When I knock you down, you cannot stay awake. Nothing bounds what's lost or found. When I'm on the scene, I make hollow ground. Yeah, on the mic, I'm true to this, speaking the gospel. These monsters is hostile, so return the same energy. 10 toes deity appeared in 63, 64. We give them more with a step up, not stepped on is pure. You know, it's like I revealed myself to give you something back that you lost many eons ago. And I want you to really take that, what I give you back, just like the God in the 60s. He gave you something to eternalize, to reclaim your life and put yourself on a good, orderly direction, if you know what I mean. If you know, you know. Handle it, mature, so force the hand, move the blade a few factions. We take actions after diplomacy, and you still talking. No option, just you and me. The fear of God is something real, please know that. Volatile, even indirect, still you get blowback. Simple, and I know that. Not even an inch. The stench in the mirror is crazy when you see it. I'm just letting you know that this is a live ass record right now, man, and it really meant to be a theme song for my wrestling. And I'm here not to be played with. I ain't finna let you play on the name that's real. Don't flinch now, take it like a G or stand down. To the syndicate, 7 heads world renowned. Know the final call on the sound. Yeah, I'm just letting you know, man. Just don't play with me, man. You know the sound, you know. Shout out to Mon Placebo. He's part of that sound. The dragons reign supreme, and they always will. The dragon always wins. It doesn't matter. If you want to fight a war of attrition, I guarantee you're going to lose that war. We didn't fall off. You jump off the planet because the world is flat. So, you know, do what you will with that information. And no, don't go pulling up no punk-ass Mike deGrasse Tyson videos. You didn't do your own research. I did my own research. Neil deGrasse Tyson can't even decipher simple psychology. He's obviously a goofy. So, without further ado, here is the full song of Hollow Ground. Enjoy. If you ain't already on streaming, you can check it out on streaming. You can buy it. You can buy it at bandcamp.com. And if you like the YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe. And don't be a dickhead. Share it with your friends. So here's the song. Enjoy. All that aiming in you're missing, so keep wishing the plot thickens. From the school of hard knocks, took stones to block to make the house of torture. Douse the flames, the one to make your name hot, turn you infamous, disrespect the ink block. You need a road shock thinking you gon' get away. Criminal minds at play, how you say diabolical. The heat from 7 heads, play with the syndicate. Moves get intricate, no need to say more. Pop off like a claymore, everything means war. God will show up at your front door. Alter reality, turn up the gravity. The situation heavy, choose violence. Always wildin' on the regular, the villain wins. Does he live to deal again? Sit in the cage with the soul simmering. So keep the hearts cold like December then. Yeah. When I lock it down, you cannot get away. When I knock it down, you cannot stay awake. Nothing bounds with lost or found. When I'm on the scene, it's hollow ground, hollow ground. When I lock it down, you cannot get away. When I knock you down, you cannot stay awake. Nothing bounds what's lost or found. When I'm on the scene, I make hollow ground. Yeah, on the mic, I'm true to this, speaking the gospel. These monsters is hostile, so return the same energy. 10 toes deity appeared in 63, 64. We give them more with a step up, not stepped on is pure. Handle it, mature, so force the hand, move the blade a few factions. We take actions after diplomacy, and you still talking. No option, just you and me. The fear of God is something real, please know that. Volatile, even indirect, still you get blowback. Simple, and I know that. Not even an inch, the stench in the mirror is crazy when you see it. I ain't finna let you play on the name that's real. Don't flinch now, take it like a G or stand down. To the syndicate, 7 heads world renowned. Know the final call on the sound. we do not forgive, we get it how we live. Father, we don't forgive, we get it how we live. Mother, we don't forgive, we get it how we live. Brother, we don't forgive, we get it how you live. Sister, we don't forgive, we get it how we live. We get it how we live, we get it how we live. When I lock it down, you cannot get away. When I knock you down, you cannot stay away. Nothing bounds was lost or found. When I'm on the scene, I make hollow ground now. When I lock it down, you cannot get away. When I knock you down, you cannot stay awake. Nothing bound was lost or found. When I'm on the scene, this is hollow ground.